Good morning, YouTube. This morning we're going to start a project that probably nobody likes to do. Rot repair. All too common. You probably got some of this around your house too, so. Right there. Ain't that pretty? And that's a classic case of the gutter getting clogged, the rainwater washing out over top of the gutter and saturating the corner of this house. So what I'm hoping is the rot is the trim board only and not the structure. So we're going to get up there, we're going to take the gutter off, we're going to remove the soffit, the downspout, just very carefully take the whole thing apart and see exactly what is going on there. Hopefully it is not a structure issue. Anyway, and then we'll clean the whole thing up. Gonna paint the whole porch and obviously do what I should have done a long time ago and put some gutter guards in. And before we call this porch done, we'll clean up the entrance, replace that storm door, power wash, and paint the door jamb and the door. So we'll see how extensive that is. I hope it's not too horrible. Anyway, I'm gonna build a scaffold and I'll bring y'all back over there and show you that, and then we'll see what lies beneath the rotten trim boards. You can probably tell by the way I look, I got into the water. So I got the power washer out and cleaned these pump jacks up because it's been a while since I used them, and it's a good way to check and make sure everything's still working properly, nothing deteriorated, nothing broke. And I went ahead and power washed the whole porch. So when I start painting, I'll be good to go. It's messy, but it's nice and clean now. Let me give you a close-up of this rot, you see? And all that's from this gutter getting overflowing, getting stopped up, overflowing, and the water rolling down onto the fascia. Look at that, you see? I guess you can see that. And we got a little bit happening here on the plywood, but it's not too bad. Another thing is, these shady spots will get mildew. So before you go painting, clean it up real good. You don't want to be painting over mildew. Okay, I know I'm a hot mess, but it's hot out here. My almost 60-year-old self still getting it though. Okay, look, I'm gonna show you this because if somebody comes to your house to do a repair and takes the time to put a scaffold up like this to do the repair, you can believe it's going to do a nice job, because you're not going to take that much effort to give you a platform to work on where everything's right here in front of your face, if you don't intend on doing a decent job. And I'll show you. Let's get up there and I can show you where we are as far as work goes. And we can raise and lower this as we need, but you can see everything's chained, good to go, nice and secure. Look at this. This is right in my face, right where I'm going to be working. You see, we're going to take this down, this gutter down, and you see the rot we got here. So and then while the scaffold's here, we'll go ahead, once we get this finished, we'll go ahead and run some fresh paint on it, and then we'll paint the inside. But you can see that gives me a nice platform all the way around. be able to do a nice job. All right, with a little bit of effort, the gutter is off. The next thing we're gonna do is remove this fascia board, okay? Then we're gonna go underneath and remove this soffit and this J-channel. And we'll see what that has in store for us. The soffit's usually got, you see, a staple or a roofing nail, something like that. It's just a matter of take that out, pull it straight out. This J-channel is put up with a trim nail. You see right there? There's one. So we'll put this flat bar up behind there and ease that trim nail out and remove the J-channel. All right, we're getting to the point now where we can start seeing the framing. So I'm gonna go set up a Sawzall, cut this off right here so we can take this off and see what kind of shape this corner's in, and also try something like that down here. All right, so here we can see the ugly. Not as bad as I was thinking. So, got a little fungus growing on it. We'll tear it down a little bit further and see exactly what we're dealing with. We might have to cut back on this one and replace a piece of this 2x12. I'm not sure yet. Good morning. All right, let's see what we got rolling here. I took a bottle jack last night and took the pressure off this porch so I could get to all this without worrying about messing up the column. And I got some plywood rot on this side. So the first thing I'm going to do is come down here over top of this, because these posts are load bearing, these fiberglass posts are load bearing. And we're gonna cut this out. I really don't have to. I could cut it back here somewhere. I don't know how difficult that's going to be to get out, but that's going to be my first chore. Take this down. See, you can see the wood's still good up top. Anyway, let's start with that. We're going to take a Dremel tool, cut this off, remove this 3/8 so we can replace that, and let's get that rolling and see what happens. There is no easy way to do this. You can see this is a 2x10 beam with a piece of 1/2" CDX sandwich between them. The roof rafters are nailed to it. The only way to do this is take short pieces, cut it, come from the end, chisel it out, just break it up into small pieces. I'm gonna run a Sawzall blade down through here and cut the nails loose that are going this way. And you just got to, you know, you see, you don't want to tear these rafters up. See, I'll take Sawzall and cut them nails off up here. And it's just time consuming. So I better think about cleaning the gutters out once in a while. I wouldn't have to do this. All right, that takes care of our beam. We're back here to bearing. We'll cut a new piece to put in here. And I'll probably use framing screws to get it all good and tight. And get a pair of electric pliers or whatever and bend these back and forth till they pop. Then run screws up in there once I get the new piece of beam in. And then we'll turn the corner here and see how far we got to go with that. Thank you for cleaning up my mess. So with all the nails gone, replacing this piece of 2x10 is a piece of cake. Slide it in from the end. Got laid off every 12 inches. I'm using clamps to sandwich all this tight together. And then we're going to use a 3.5 inch screw to make it all one piece again. But you can see that's already starting to look better. The rot didn't get into the beams on this side. That's good, so we'll cut that rotten plywood off and we'll replace it with something else. And this time we'll add some ice and dam to that, wrap the corner with it. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. I think some of the problem was water coming down the side and sitting in that piece of J channel, which is pretty typical of the way it's supposed to be installed. Anyway, let me get the rest of the screws in these and then we're gonna cinch this bottom plate up back to the beam like that, and we'll piece this in. And we'll be on our road to recovery. Oh, hot, 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 hot. All right, here you can see all our rot repair is complete. Replaced a little piece of sheathing on the end. It's not structural. So the next chore is to start putting this back together, and then we'll start by wrapping the outside of this beam with the 1x8. So let me do that and I'll show you a picture of it. Okay, we got our post back in place. Did the same thing, just put it in the same way you took it out. Took a bottle jack, lifted the porch about 1/4 inch, eased the post out, made the repairs, lifted it back up, put the post back in. Up here, reinstalling the J channel for the soffit material. Right there, we cleaned it up, washed it up a little bit. But we just maintain that same margin here to here, right on down the line. And then we'll see how things work out when we get down to this end, which obviously still got a lot of work to do. We got some cleaning and caulking to do before the paint is ready to go on. But it's starting to look like a porch again. Let me give you a shot out here. Oh, nice breeze. But there you can see that underneath is just 3/8 CDX. Not CDX, but AC. It's good sanded one side, exterior grade, glue in it. So we'll put the soffit back, and then we're gonna turn the corner. We have to make up a piece of flashing to go on top of that piece of fascia board there. And this thing should start coming back together pretty quick. What a job. Sure would have been easier to clean the gutter out regular, wouldn't it? Okay, we're gonna play catch up here. See what we got going. We got all our trim is up and caulked and putty. So we're gonna do some sanding, get it ready for paint. Let me show you on the outside here. We got our soffit reinstalled, bent up some new fascia. I have to do a separate video, and that's pretty involved. We got a new piece of drip cap here, goes up behind the J channel and everything else, about 3 inches. Then we got this barricade flashing over top of that, turning the quarter, so any water's gonna hit the side of this gable. It's gonna come down, and there's gonna be no place for it to go but leave. Then pull this off and get my scaffolds straightened out so I can reinstall that siding and start the paint work. So we're going to sand this down now and enjoy it while it's cool out. Still a little bit cool this morning. Not cold, don't get me wrong. It's just not 95 yet. Alright. Little project is just about a wrap. Let's take a peek. We painted the gutters, painted the porch posts, beams, and we also took the time to sand and put 3 coats of paint on the door and the side lights and install a new storm door as well as a new lock set. So I'm gonna have to let it sit a few days and I'll come back and clean that glass up. But nice, clean. The front door is the smiley face on your house. It should be bright and cheery and welcoming. So, you got here, look. You can see this time, I went ahead and put in gutter guards. So hopefully, I won't have any more problem with the leaves collecting and backing up. So here's the corner where all our repair work was done. Nice, back to new, like nothing ever happened. I need to break some caulk out. I believe I have a tube of this maple. But yeah, quite a chore. So let's get this caulked up. We'll get this scaffold down. And we'll take a couple pictures of the finished product. Oh, my back tight as a tick. Tight as a tick, I tell you. Anyway, door really looks nice. I'm really happy with that. Screen won't stay up for whatever reason. Very pretty. Alright, that wraps this little project up. We got this porch here that we're gonna have to do some work to. We got a hurricane coming our way, so we're gonna wait till that passes. We got a little project due for a customer. So let's take a look. Gutters painted, all the wood trim work painted, columns. The door looks fresh and clean. Hard to believe that door's been hanging there almost 30 years now. Good Lord. Anyway, let's go over here where we had all the ugly. And there we go. All back together like nothing ever happened. So, one of the projects I'm going to do too is I'm going to take some uric acid and wash these, wash the porch. You see it's stained, and I'm going to try a concrete stain on it with a little abrasive mixed into it, so that your feet, shoes, whatever, have something to grip. But all in all, I feel good about that. Nice and clean, and the rot is gone. So, if you followed us through this project, we sure do appreciate it. If you subscribed, we appreciate that too. Trust me. If you haven't subscribed, we'd hope you might consider. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Thanks for watching. God bless, take care. If you're on the East Coast, ducks, that hurricane's headed our way. Adios, friends.